These days we hear a lot about sensory, but it is often only used as a buzzword to describe things to do with autistic people or ADHD, or about sensory rooms or sensitivities, aversions, hypersensitive, hypersensitive, etc. But sensory is so much more than that. Sensory relates to all of us in everything we do. Our senses are our only access to experiencing the outside world. But sensory information is not the only ingredient that creates our perception. Predictions we make based on our past experiences and beliefs we hold about the world also affect what we perceive. What did you hear? The raw audio sound is the same. But did what you hear change depending on which word you were thinking about? This illusion demonstrates how what we think about influences what we perceive. Our perception is also hugely impacted by how our brain deals with the differences between the information we receive from our senses compared to our predictions. Each difference between the raw sensory information versus our predictions creates a prediction error signal, which we can understand as surprise. No two situations are ever precisely the same, so there will always be some level of surprise signal. These surprises can help us learn, but can also be unsettling for our brain if we have no way to regulate them. Different brain types deal with these surprises in different ways. Neurotypical brains tend to regulate these surprises by filtering many of the day-to-day ones out and writing them off as irrelevant noise. The neurotypical brain automatically filters them out and only pays attention to some of them for specific learning or social objectives. Autistic brains tend to pay more attention to many of these surprises and use them to learn about the world in all its details. To stay regulated, autistic brains have other strategies such as stimming, which can counterbalance the dysregulation caused by the surprises. Both of these brain strategies have benefits and limitations in different contexts. The autistic mechanism of paying attention and learning from surprises can mean developing a rich, detailed, and complex understanding of the world. But it can also mean that in unpredictable environments, where there is excess uncertainty and lots of surprises, one can become overloaded, and too much information can block the ability to learn. The neurotypical mechanism of filtering out or ignoring a lot of these surprises means learning remains more surface level and broad. One can move from subject to subject quickly and can tolerate more uncertain environments as they are not aware of all the surprises. But it also means they can miss out on details and deep layers of understanding. They may be biased to see only what they predict they will perceive, and can miss out on the unexpected learning that can happen from exploring the deep levels of the unknown. Connected to the related perceptual mechanism, at a cognitive level, there are distinct autistic processes too. Neurotypical people tend to have polytropic focus, which means they have lots of different interests, which are explored at a surface level and are engaged with in a more fleeting way. Autistic people tend to have monotropic focus, which means they focus on a few intense interests at deep levels, exploring all the details and incorporating many of the surprises to build a rich and complex understanding. Monotropic focus can both help regulate perceptual overload and information overload, whilst also providing an enriching, exciting and beautiful experience. Such intense focus, however, can sometimes have an impact on attending to secondary tasks, such as interruptions, awareness of time, bodily sensations of tiredness or hunger or thirst, or planning tasks to do later. Differences at both a cognitive and perceptual level also leads to differences in communication and interaction. Autistic people communicate and interact in different ways to neurotypical people. Autistic people have different social expectations, values, and cultural differences to neurotypical people. However, society is often set up only for neurotypicals, and traditionally, difficulties autistic individuals experience with communicating and interacting with neurotypical people have been put down to the autistic person having the issue. This is where the double empathy problem comes in. It's a concept developed by Damien Milton that helps explain why people with different backgrounds or experiences might struggle to understand each other. Problems occur when there is a mismatch between what neurotypical and autistic people see as important in terms of experience, ways of learning and understanding, social norms, communication styles, relationship styles, thinking styles, displays of emotion, perception of the world, etc. Autistic people and neurotypical people do these things differently and value them in different ways. It is these differences that make it challenging for each group to understand and connect with each other. The challenges autistic people experience when trying to connect with neurotypical people are also the issues experienced by neurotypical people trying to connect with autistic people. This makes it a double problem, equally experienced by two different groups of people rather than the autistic person being perceived as the issue. Autistic people have their own autistically diverse perceptual mechanism, cognitive process, and communication and interaction styles, all interacting together to form a distinct autistic neurotype.